In the spring of 1981, Keddie, a small resort town nestled in the Sierra Nevada mountains of California, was a place of quiet beauty and rustic charm. This tranquil backdrop, with its picturesque cabins and towering pine trees, seemed far removed from the darker corners of human nature. Yet, it was here, in Cabin 28, that one of the most horrific and perplexing unsolved murders in American history would unfold. On the morning of April 12, 1981, Sheila Sharp returned to her family's cabin after spending the night at a neighbor's house. What she found would haunt her forever. Inside Cabin 28, her mother, Glenna Sue Sharp, brother John, and his friend Dana Wingate were brutally murdered. The scene was one of unimaginable horror. Blood splattered on the walls, bodies bound with electrical wire, and signs of a violent struggle. Remarkably, 3 of Sue Sharp's children survived the massacre. Greg and Rick Sharp, along with their friend Justin Smart, were found unharmed in a bedroom. The youngest, Tina Sharp, was missing, adding another layer of mystery to the already perplexing case. Children's survival raised questions about the killer's motives and the chilling possibilities of what they might have witnessed. Plumas County Sheriff's Office launched an immediate investigation, but the remote location of Keddie and the brutality of the crime presented significant challenges. The crime scene was chaotic and contaminated by the number of people who had entered the cabin before the authorities arrived. Despite these obstacles, investigators began piecing together the events of that fateful night, driven by a determination to bring justice to the victim. Early theories about the murders ranged from a botched drug deal to a personal vendetta. The brutality of the killings suggested a crime of passion, yet the involvement of multiple perpetrators seemed likely due to the sheer violence inflicted on the victims. 2 initial suspects emerged: Martin Smart, a local man with a volatile temper, and his friend, Bo Bubede, convicted felon. Their connection to the surviving children and their proximity to the cabin placed them squarely in the investigative spotlight. The disappearance of Tina Sharp added a haunting dimension to the case. For weeks, search parties combed the rugged terrain around Keddie. There was no sign of the 12-year-old. It wasn't until 3 years later, in 1984, that her remains were discovered in Feather Falls, nearly 50 miles away from Keddie. The discovery of Tina's skull and other bones reignited the investigation and the search for her killers. As the investigation dragged on with no arrests, the residents of Keddie were gripped by fear and suspicion. The idyllic resort town, once a haven of peace, was now shrouded in an atmosphere of mistrust. Neighbors eyed each other warily. Rumors spread like wildfire. The community's sense of security was shattered, and the haunting question remained: who could commit such an atrocity and remain at large? Criticism of the investigation grew as years passed without resolution. Allegations of incompetence, corruption, and cover-ups plagued the Plumas County Sheriff's Office. Key pieces of evidence were mishandled or went missing, and crucial leads were not thoroughly pursued. The possibility that local law enforcement might be protecting someone with ties to the case only deepened the mystery and the frustration of those seeking justice for the victim. In 2013, a new sheriff, Greg Hagwood, and a special investigator, Mike Gamberg, reopened the case with fresh eyes and modern forensic techniques. They discovered previously overlooked evidence, including a blood-stained hammer believed to be one of the murder weapons. Gamberg also unearthed a letter written by Martin Smart to his wife, confessing to the murders. These findings breathed new life into the cold case and offered a glimmer of hope the killers might finally be brought to justice. The letter from Martin Smart was a bombshell. In it, Smart admitted to the killings, claiming he was driven by jealousy and rage. However, Smart had died in 2000, and his confession, while damning, could not be directly acted upon. The letter also implicated his friend, Bo Bube, who had passed away in 1988. Despite the deaths of the prime suspects, confession provided some closure and confirmed the suspicions that had lingered for decades. Advances in forensic science have allowed investigators to re-examine evidence from the crime scene. DNA analysis, once in its infancy, has provided new leads and corroborated the involvement of multiple perpetrators. The reevaluation of physical evidence has also helped clarify the sequence of events that night, painting a clearer picture of the brutality and chaos that unfolded in Cabin 28. For the families of the victims, the years following the murders have been a painful journey of grief and uncertainty. The lack of closure has left deep emotional scars, and the knowledge that the killers walked free for so long has been a source of endless torment. The new developments in the case have brought some solace, but the wounds inflicted by that night in 1981 will never fully heal. The Keddie murders have fascinated the public and the media for decades. Books, documentaries, and countless articles have dissected the case from every angle. The grisly details and the involvement of multiple suspects have made it a staple of true crime lore. Each new revelation reignites interest and speculation, keeping the case in the public consciousness and ensuring that the victims are not forgotten. The shadow of the Keddie murders continues to loom over the town. While time has passed, the memory of that horrific night remains vivid. The fear and mistrust that gripped the community in the aftermath have left a lasting impact. The case has become a cautionary tale, a reminder of the darkness that can lurk beneath the surface, even the most idyllic settings. The Keddie murders remain one of America's most notorious unsolved cases. Despite the confessions, new evidence, and advances in forensic science, no one has been officially convicted. The case stands as a testament to the complexities of criminal investigations and the enduring quest for justice. For the residents of Keddie, the victims' families, and all who have followed the case, the hope remains that one day the full truth will be revealed, and the ghosts of Cabin 28 can finally be laid to rest.